All that's needed for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. Now that the racist, hate-mongering new Black Panther Marxists are going to crash Glenn Beck's Restore and Honor rally at the Lincoln Memorial, I think good, hardworking, freedom-loving Americans need to stand up for themselves and show up in his defense. Just imagine what would happen if we began our own organization and called it the White Tigers. The liberal media would have a conniption fit. Do you think they would give us a free pass like they give the Black Panthers a free pass? Not a chance. But after all, if having a group named the Black Panthers isn't racist, then certainly having a group named the White Tigers isn't racist either, right? However, we would all wear white shirts instead of black, be against racism instead of being for it, be nonviolent instead of being violent, except, of course, in the case of self-defense, and in those cases would defend ourselves vigorously. And unlike some members of the Black Panthers, we won't scream for the death of people who have different skin color or tell our members to go kill their babies. We'll value reason, freedom, personal responsibility, justice, equality under the law, treating others the way they want them to treat us, and last but not least, always remembering that if you hire the government to force someone to give you what you want, you have no right to complain when someone else hires the government to force you to give them what they want. We'll be nearly the exact opposite of the new Black Panthers. The White Tigers will actually be moral. Unlike the Black Panthers, we'll want the government to actually uphold the principles set forth in the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights, instead of fighting for socialism or communism like the Black Panthers. The White Tigers will believe in the moral and economic premise that every human being has a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, regardless of skin color. The Black Panthers believe in the immoral Marxist economic premise of each according to his ability to each according to his need. And of course, they would get to choose who is who in the economic scheme, meaning they would be the masters and white people would be their economic serfs. In essence, they're all for slavery as long as someone else is the slave. The White Tigers will believe the government owes them nothing except for what our nation's founding documents stipulate it owes them, to protect them from the domestic criminals, to protect them from foreign criminals, and to protect them from criminals in our own government. We'll want nothing from the government except for it to secure the freedom for every individual to live their life as they choose, as long as that individual isn't violating the equal rights of another. The new Black Panthers say they want freedom, but they don't even know what the word freedom means. Just look at their website. They want freedom, but only for themselves. They demand reparations for slavery, meaning that they want the government to steal money from you, me, your children, your parents, my parents, your grandparents, my grandparents, and every other non-black American, even though not one of us had anything to do with slavery, and most of us never even benefited from it. And if you live in the North, you're supposed to pay reparations even though the overwhelming majority of northern states never even had slavery, and in fact, whose ancestors died in the war against it? Give me a freaking break. Every group of people who have ever existed have been screwed at one point or another in their history. I'm part Cherokee, part Irish, part Scandinavian, and who knows what else. Like most Americans, I'm a mutt. You think my ancestors weren't screwed in the past? You don't fix an injustice of the past with an injustice in the present. That would be immoral, and it would simply create another injustice. The Black Panthers demand freedom, but at the same time want to take away the freedom of others by forcing them into socialized medicine. Once again, meaning they want freedom of choice for themselves, but not for other people. They want the government to force you to pay for what they want. They have no idea what freedom is. They have no idea what morality is, and they have no idea what rights are. They just can't seem to get it through their thick racist skulls that nobody has a right to anything someone else is forced to give. The Black Panthers want full employment. But what does that mean? It means they want government to control the means of production. In other words, socialism or communism. Apparently, being too ignorant to see that both socialism and communism always promise the world but never deliver. And by necessity must take away freedom in order to even attempt to achieve any of its pie-in-the-sky goals. The Black Panthers want free land, free housing, free food, free clothing, and a multitude of other free goods and services, not understanding that those goods and services are not free because somebody would have to be forced to provide them. And by the way, they also want all black people to be exempt from paying taxes, which means all non-black people would become slaves of black people through taxation. If you don't believe me, simply go to their website and read their idiotic Marxist 10-point platform for yourself. Members of the White Tigers would want to earn what they get. They would understand there's no such thing as a free lunch. They would understand that a nation's prosperity depends on every individual being able to keep what he has honestly earned, and that no human parasite has the right to force another human being to be their unwilling host. The Black Panthers want all black people released from prison because, according to them, none of them got a fair trial. Are you kidding me? Not one African American has ever gotten a fair trial. Give me a break. Listen, there are many things I disagree with when it comes to the ideas of Glenn Beck, especially his religious views. But it's about time someone in the media started talking about the things that are destroying America from within, and he's the one doing it. I'll be damned if I'm going to stand by and do nothing while a bunch of racist, hate-mongering, ignorant Marxists attempt to intimidate him into silence. So for those of you who still have balls, those of you who still hold the values that made America the greatest nation on earth, put on a white shirt, go to what's now known little more than a den of whores and thieves, Washington, D.C., and stand by one of the only voices in the media who's exposing the ignorant, hypocritical, immoral, pompous asses in government for what they truly are. Do I want to do this? No, I have a life. And unlike members of the Black Panthers, I have a job. But if us working, freedom-loving members of society don't do it, who will? Certainly not the parasites. Certainly not the blood-sucking members of society who believe they have a right to what you've earned. And one more thing. Unlike that other group of big-mouth racists, the white in White Tigers would have nothing to do with skin color. It would simply be a play on their name and a way to identify others of like mind at the rally. So anyone, black, white, brown, red, yellow, green, purple, blue, it doesn't matter. What matters is that people who are intelligent enough to see that our country is being destroyed from within show up in support of a person who's not perfect, but at the very least is attempting to get the word out before a once great civilization collapses like every other great civilization of the past because of apathy. If there's anyone out there listening, let me know if you would be willing to do this. I could do it by myself, but what's that going to accomplish? Nobody would even pay attention. But if there's thousands of us, all wearing white shirts, we'll stick out like a sore thumb, and they'll have to pay attention. And then maybe, just maybe, they'll understand that we're sick and tired of the parasites and Marxists in our society voting away our rights, our freedom, and our ability to leave our children a decent standard of living. And that we're simply not going to take it anymore. Thanks for your listening.